Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. It says, for you who are listening, Texas from exes, but it has a big cross out.
We don't do Texas from exes. No, although we don't send Texas to exes.
That's what it is.
Unless we've been drinking, then it's okay.
Hey, big head.
Hey, big head. Welcome to another episode of Oh No Girl Yes, the podcast where we talk about all things relationship, dating, courting, breaking up, liking, disliking, trying again, failing, succeeding, not really succeeding, failing again. All things relationship tunnel. That's what we talk about here. So we really appreciate the journey that you guys have been on with us. If you are listening to us, you can also see us have this conversation on our YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe. If you are seeing us, you can also listen to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you have not joined our Patreon family, you are missing out, because in addition to these weekly episodes, they get weekly behind the scenes. So whereas we might talk about something in general terms, Patreon gets names, addresses, pictures, and then look at this.
Exactly.
They get a lot. And also we do live fun events with them as well. So this week's topic is, how important is it for you to go Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, social media official when you're dating someone in a relationship? So we all know when we see somebody say in a relationship with, they tag the person, the first time you post that picture with the person, is that important to you? Would you do it? Have you done it?
I've never done that.
Okay.
And I've been on Facebook since its inception, and when I was
and you've been in relationships since you've had Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, it's never been important to me. That's the bottom line. It's not that I hate when people do it, because that's not it, but it's never been an important part of, I share a lot on Facebook, but I guess I just don't share that part of my life.
So when you say you've never shared it on Facebook, are you saying you've never shared pictures of you and who you were dating?
I have shared pictures.
Status? What haven't you done?
I've shared pictures of people I've been dating or I've dated before, but I've never changed my relationship status. In fact, I don't have anything up there. I don't have single. In a relationship is complicated. I never, when they implemented that, I never used it. But yeah, never did any of that. Just pictures mainly. That's about as far as it goes. And it's not a picture with, hey, look at my boyfriend, or hey, I love you. It's just like we might be out somewhere and take a cute picture and I'll post it. But
okay, so the people you've dated have never changed theirs, or y'all never had a conversation about, hey, are we in the place we were sharing? You just never came up.
No, that's never actually even come up.
Actually, I would say it has not come up in those terms for me with people I've dated since I've been on Facebook. I think the boyfriend that inspired this podcast, that particular boyfriend, I think I said I was going to change my relationship status, like in the context of once we had the we're official conversation, I was like, oh, I'm gonna change my Facebook status. Now, I didn't tag him. I've never shared any pictures of him, but it was kind of like in the conversation of, oh, this is a big deal for me to change it to in a relationship, and seeing people react to that. I think you remember that. I was like, oh, let me see what people are going to say, because whether I was dating somebody or not in the years previous, that was the first time I had changed my relationship status.
Right.
Also, before him, I was friends with a guy. And so when we would be out doing things, I consciously would not take pictures of us and consciously not share them. And then I thought, well, if this was with one of my girlfriends, I would share the pictures. And then, why am I letting other people's perceptions dictate what I post or share? And so when I started sharing pictures of us and we were not dating, I felt fine. I felt like, oh, this is my friend. We did this, we did that. Then we started dating, and then that kind of changed, because people who know me were like, what? You got this dude out here on your Facebook page that you did? We started doing date night lives. It kind of transitioned into people knowing that we were a couple. And, it was a different experience for me, because one, I don't generally have relationships. Two, let alone in a public space like that. I don't think social media added anything to our relationship or took anything away from our relationship. I can actually say, even though he got a whole bunch of new friends that were my friends that I don't even know, like, why are these women adding you as a friend? But the demise of our relationship was not based on anything social media related. So I will say that. But I know a lot of people can't say that, right? So I wonder, then you've seen memes that said, the way your grandma and granddaddy stayed together is they didn't have social media, So I will say social media makes the good and bad of it. It makes so many things accessible to you, right? So whereas you used to only know your friends and family, you only knew your classmates, you only knew the people on your street. Now you know how people are living all over the world.
Right.
So it exposes you to things you never would have necessarily experienced, whether it's style or fashion or horticulture or, different things. Plus the same thing, it makes people's partners more accessible. So
very true. I feel like even with friends that were I talked to a childhood best friend this past weekend, and we talked about how, because we don't communicate very often at all, maybe once or twice every 6 months, or maybe even more than that. But we were talking and we were like, Facebook makes us feel like we are still in each other's lives, just based off what we share, like, oh yeah, she went hiking the other day, or whatever. So it does make us feel connected, but it also makes us feel like we, are not privy, but like you owe us something, like somebody owes you something by sharing something and stuff like that. And I know we've joked about that before, like, oh, you were with this guy.
Yeah, people get overly attached to your life.
Right.
In an unhealthy way.
I'm sure you see that more. Obviously, you see that more because of your following and because of your reach and how many people think they know you, just through social media, because you have a bigger presence. And people feel like they deserve to know every part of you. And I will never give people that. I don't care.
But even without the reach, I mean, it just gives more people that idea.
Right.
Anybody, you could change your hair and somebody say, oh, I liked your hair better. And it's like, why are you talking about?
Nobody's telling me that, but they'll be telling you that. They be telling.
Right, but I just see people who like get haircuts, so they change their hair color, and I'll see the comments like, "Oh, did you cut your hair? Oh, don't cut," and I'm like,
I want you to know that's because of who you are as a
No, I'm talking about I see other people posted on other people's stuff. I'm saying
I don't think
people are getting trained to not do it to me as much. But I'm saying I've seen people change their hair, change their whatever, and then people say, "Oh, I liked it such and such better," or "Oh,
yeah, people have that,"
and I'm like.
Yeah, people have that, but
they did what they wanted to do. Like, that's their business. So I think people have this attachment to everybody's business in a way that they shouldn't. But I think just because you share something doesn't mean it's your business. And I think we see this with celebrities when they they're on the red carpet, they got relationships, they're doing all this stuff. And then when the relationship goes bad or there's a scandal, they say, please respect our privacy. People want to say, oh, but you wanted to talk about this. But there is a distinction, I mean, just because I shared a selfie doesn't mean I want somebody to hack my phone and post all my pictures out of my phone. But you posted a picture. That's what I shared.
I posted people should have the freedom to share what they want to share. And if they don't want to share it, then that's fine.
Exactly. However, if you've posted your relationship on Facebook and then now all of a sudden you're not posting relationship, you do owe me the backstory on what happened to y'all. And I have gone in people's inboxes who I did not know and said, I am so sorry, but I noticed I was following your journey. Are you single? And I ain't interested. It could be the man or the woman. But sometimes once I notice they have transitioned out of a relationship and I ain't never known, but I was watching, I go in that inbox. Hey, what happened?
She has done that. I know she has. Yeah.
And everybody who I've ever asked, they have always answered. Like they never came back and be like, what? Why? They've said, oh.
Don't do that to me, because I'm like, mind your business.
Well, you know what? I think people respect that I'm not messy. I think people don't think I really am being nosy. But that I'm really curious about dynamics and situations, and especially in sourcing content for this platform. Mm-hmm. I'm really curious about why people break up. I was having this conversation with my mom last week about why do people break up, particularly people that we see together. So we were talking about how we were using celebrities as an example. They have all this money and access and beauty and resource, whatever. When they break up, it's always like, why would they break up? They was together. They had money. Everybody knew they was together. They liked each other. They're both beautiful. They're both successful. And they break up the same reason everybody break up.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Same.
And so when we put this, J-Lo and A-Rod were in the news. Did they break up? Did they not break up? Whatever. You know, I never thought they was together anyway, but anyway, but it's one of those things where, or the Beyoncés or the Halle Berrys, and we see these beautiful women who are successful and have money, and then their relationships fail. The first thing people say is she can't keep a man. Not that this man couldn't keep that woman. So, but that's a whole nother topic.
Right. We've discussed that before a little bit.
That's a topic. But with social media, and when social media is our way to be on the red carpet. Social media is the way that you become in People Magazine to your friend group, right? That's how you share your information and your news. So I feel like in the past, because I shared that friend and he became a relationship and then we broke up, I didn't feel anything about breaking up and knowing that people knew I was with him. You know what I'm saying? I think some people are like, oh, I don't want to be, we ain't together no more. I think I wanted to put out a press release. The one that inspired this podcast, even though I had never shared any pictures of him, I changed my relationship status. And I can't remember if the one before that I was just talking about that we did date night, I can't remember if I had changed my relationship status and had his name. You know, I don't remember.
No, you didn't.
Okay. But I remember dating another guy, see if you know who I'm talking about. I did not change my relationship status, but I was going to I was ready to post a picture of us. And we were at an event that you were at at college, at the college we attended. And we looked nice that night. And I thought, I want to take a picture with this dude I've been dating. And I'm going to share, this is going to be the picture I share with this guy because we look good, we dressed up, and this is my man. And you remember what happened?
He wouldn't take a picture right?
Yep.
He was goofing off when you were trying to get a cute picture, and that was a sign.
We ended up breaking up shortly thereafter. And it wasn't about, he won't take a picture for social media. It was the fact that I was one of the guests of honors and MC of a big event. He came to me after the event, handed me his phone to take pictures of him with the other guest of honors. And then when I said, let's snap a picture together, we look nice, he made funny faces in the two pictures the person took. And I didn't realize that until I looked at the pictures and I saw how I had taken pictures of him with people that he did not do that with. And then when he took a picture of me, he did that. It was like, excuse me? And it was a sign, right? I don't know. Maybe he did that so I would not post him. Maybe he did not want me to, you know what I'm saying? So
he didn't know you were planning on posting any of those.
But the assumption is if you take a picture, you go share it.
Oh yeah. I had that. You remember I had that issue. I met a guy.
Tell us that issue. Somebody wants to take a picture with you.
Right. Patreon is already privy to the whole story, but the long of it is I met a guy at the grocery store and I could tell he was one of those who was ready, very anxious to kind of insert wife here. Just the short of it. So we met at a local park here and he wanted to pose for a picture, but he gave me the vibes that we were going to pose for this picture and he was going to go immediately to his social media page and post it. Like,
I just met him. I'm not with this.
Yeah, I don't even know you, and so I refused to take the picture because I knew that would happen. And then days later, I saw him on a date with someone and he posted the picture and I was like, that's why I didn't want to. Right. I don't want my face out there associated with people I don't know.
Right. And like you said, I have a big following. And at that point, and again, I didn't have this thought then. I just was annoyed that he did that for our picture. But looking back, he probably did not want me to post it on social media. Looking back, I don't think I ever really had that thought.
Right.
Other than just mess up our picture. Look, now I think about it, I need to go find that picture and post it and tag him and be like, look, this is a picture of the dude I dated. So if you was talking to him during that time, he don't want us. Let me make this retroactive. Now, if I started dating somebody now, like if I thought about today, the person I am today is totally different than the person I was last year, the year before that, last month.
Right.
I'm somebody that stays on a constant journey of what I like and what I hate. So if I was to date somebody today and we actually were official, I'm pretty certain I would not change my relationship status. Now, I don't think a person I would date in my age range would care about that. I don't know. I've never been in a situation where I was dating someone and they said, hey, you should change your relationship status, and how we react to that. I've never been in it. And I've heard of people, that the friend group the two friends that I set up, theirs was a social media stressful thing because he would say, well, why haven't you posted me on your social media this week? And I'm like, he said that, you know? And so it was very much of, he was very attached, at least what she said, he was very attached to what was consumed on social media, and it was a stressful time for them. So I don't know how I react if I really liked a guy, was dating a guy, and he requested to be posted, you know, because I guess if I liked him and I'm dating him and he's my man, I wouldn't care about posting, but maybe I would care about him wanting me to post it.
Yeah, that would be a red flag for me, because are we dating each other or are we dating social media? What does that matter?
Or does he want people to know you are not available? She has a man.
I know, but are you talking about posting a picture, or are you talking about changing the status?
Either request that a man can
make. I mean, if I'm dating someone and he wants me to, we're in a serious relationship and he asked me to post a picture, I would do it. I mean, I wouldn't try to hide that. You know, I might post it on my own. I think just changing the status and all that, I think it's silly. It's a silly Facebook thing. Like,
it's silly, but I know I've seen good looking men and not known them. It might be somebody Facebook say you might know, or people you may know. And when I go to their page, if I see they're married, if I see in a relationship, I keep it moving. If I see single,
I go through their pictures because they always tell the story.
Sometimes, not all the time. I can't tell you how many men don't post their wives on their social media. I can tell you at least 2 I've dated.
That's true too. But I mean,
I can tell you at least 2 that I know of right now that I dated, that it ain't no wives nowhere in their social media pictures. So, and I'm sure that men who are down to cheat have convinced their partner why they don't post them on social media. No, because I don't want people in our business. And this is are you worried about what they think? You know, and they give them that bill of goods because they know when they slide in your DMs, you're going to go through their pictures and you don't see no woman. So you think he available. So this still goes down to whether you're using powers for good or evil. You know, same reason you got to show your driver's license by a 5-hour energy. Somebody figured out something wrong to do with it, you know. So I think if a man said to me, hey, we're official, whatever, are you going to change your status on social media or whatever, or post a picture? You know, I can right now say I wouldn't have a problem with it because he was my man. I would probably want more information on why the request was made, because this might speak to an insecurity. This might speak to a jealousy that would be showing up somewhere else. The other reason why I would probably always give a guy a little bit more grace than usual is because I do have a lot of men, not options, not that I'm interested in, that, oh, I love you. Oh, you my favorite. Oh, when you gonna let me marry? You know, that kind of random stuff to where somebody who doesn't know. My mom asked me one time about this one person in particular who comments on everything. She said, who is such and such? You know, I'm like, I don't know him, Mom. He just, if I post, that's what he gonna do. So I feel like if I was dating somebody, they probably have consumed some of that. Okay, I would do it. You know, I would give them a little grace on, because I know how I feel. Now, on the flip side, when I am dating somebody, I will notice certain people that keep liking their stuff. I will admit to that. I will say, he don't post a lot, but when he do, she be liking it. And I catch myself looking at these likes, and I wouldn't consider myself insecure or jealous, but in those moments, I guess I am. Or does social media make you be that? Because then it
can. I mean, how many rabbit holes have you gone down to try to find something find something out about somebody you just met and like who they dated or who they might have had? I mean, I do that all the time. It's just fun stuff, right? But
Facebook, social media stalking, but does it cause you to be something that you're not, or does it just bring that thing that you didn't know you are to the top?
I think a little bit of both. I think there already has to be something in you that makes you feel that way or whatever. Yeah. And then it brings it to the surface.
Listen, by the time I done went into some rabbit holes on some dudes, and I'm like, because it goes from, okay, I noticed her name, she likes a lot of stuff. Then now you on her page. Now you going back to see.
Now what is he liking on her page? Okay.
Is he following her? And you be sitting there like,
ridiculous.
I ain't insecure, I ain't jealous, but you be like, hold on, let her like one more thing he posted. And it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And so I think Let me tell you why I don't know. I can genuinely say, I don't know if I'm jealous and insecure. And I'm gonna tell you, and this is being transparent and honest, and social media is a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
When I have been like in love with somebody in the past, and you know who I'm talking about, I was not their social media friend because I knew what it would do based on how I felt about him and based how I would react, and we were never social media friends while we were dating, while we were like friends.
Did you go on his page ever?
No, because I knew what I was already overly attached to him. You know, it was a long distance relationship. The minute he moved into my city, I hated it because he wasn't just there to see me. He was like in my city and not with, so it was already bringing up all this stuff. So over 10 plus years that I knew him, we were not Facebook friends. And so now we are. And obviously it's in check now because, I've done my work. But sometimes I will, look or see, and it's still, be like, well, who is, okay, and the reason why I say I'm not sure if I'm jealous and insecure is because I have not been in that many real relationships to see whether it activated in me or not. You know what I'm saying? I think in the moments in social media that I have felt it, it wasn't with somebody that was necessarily my man. So my insecurity and jealous is because I'm out here trying to, what's my position? I don't know if I was in position as somebody's relationship partner, if I would feel, I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I was saying I haven't been in the space to know if he knew he was in a relationship with me, would this girl liking his post bother me?
Right.
So I don't know. So I think social media can help in keeping people, respectful people, from pursuing you. I think it can hurt because some people don't care, but also social media gives you access to a world you would not have had access to. You can inbox your favorite actor or rapper or athlete right now. You used to couldn't do that.
Fan mail, people.
Right. Is he getting that letter I sent to the team facility? I don't know. Is he reading letters that's in his locker? I don't know. But you can slide in the DM, and what people know is, yes, he might be married with kids, whatever, but if I send him this picture, he gonna say, oh, hey, what's up? So I think that part of social media obviously is negative. If people notice your man, they might just be hating on you and then be like, watch this, I bet I can get her man, so it still comes down to the user and what's wrong with people in general. But we say all that to say, the question is, do you think if you're in a relationship, you should go official? Does that help your relationship, hurt your relationship? What has been your experience with it either way? And do you think it matters? Particularly, you feel the single relationship is complicated, is silly. I feel like it can be useful, but not really, because, it can say married and he's still in
right.
Right. So if you were in a relationship today, at this age, you are not dating for sport. You are dating for a potential lifetime commitment.
Right.
At this age, in this space, if you were seriously dating someone today, what could we expect to consume on your social media about that?
See, that's a tough question, but I can't say you would expect to consume that much.
Okay.
You know what has come along that I think has helped people share more than they ever have is stories and whatever. Yeah, I guess Instagram calls them stories too, because you pop up a story, you put a picture up there in 24 hours, it's gone, and no questions asked, and nobody got to come in and do all that kind of stuff publicly. So I do stories. I mean, I'm still on Snapchat, I'm old school. So
that's
I post
Snapchat to me is new school, but
okay.
Right. Okay.
TikTok, but you're on TikTok, so you're new school. So I would probably do a lot of Snapchatting and stuff like that, which I have when I go on a date or something like that. I might Snapchat it with somebody I'm dating and I dated consistently for a minute. But other than that, Facebook probably wouldn't get much, unless, And
so I never thought about it that way when you say share it in stories, because then it goes away.
People share a lot more in stories because it does not stay on your timeline long.
Right.
And it's not even on your timeline. People can look at it or they can't. And there's no public interaction between people on your story. It's just your story. So I would probably be more likely to share on my story than anything else.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because now I'm thinking, is that why people share on stories is so that it's not on their timeline?
No, I don't think that's the sole reason, but there is, I mean, sometimes you want your Instagram, people with brands, they want their Instagram page to look like their brand. So they may not share if their brand doesn't have anything to do with their family or anything like that. They may not share that stuff. They may just put that in their story just to share the part of their day, but that doesn't really belong on the page.
That makes sense. I see what you're saying. So that makes sense, because if, like you said, the brand, and then if I just met them on today and they've had their brand for a year or two, then that speaks to that, whereas their stories might be more personal things that come and go or whatever. That makes sense. Okay. I never really thought about it that way. I generally only post the stories just to see eyeballs. And by eyeballs, I mean all my exes.
Well, some people do that. You want to know who's looking.
That's the only reason I do.
You can't really gauge who's looking unless they like it on your posts, on your pages. But stories, they'll tell you everybody who's looking, you know?
Right, exactly.
So that's another thing.
That's interesting. So that's a new way that you just gave me a social media lesson. Thank you. Beyond Instagram, Facebook stalking. That's interesting. I would take that under consideration moving forward. Good to know. But again, today you're saying you would potentially share on stories, not necessarily on your thread or anything.
Potentially share on Facebook. You know, like you said, if I'm dating someone now and you see it on Facebook, you best believe it's pretty serious. So, but I wouldn't be, you know, like I said, I wouldn't change my status. I don't have a status now, so that wouldn't change. But other than that, yeah, I would share it. I mean, I don't have a problem with sharing it.
Do you think it is a good thing or bad thing that when people do share in a relationship with, picture with, that of course somebody can slide in your inbox and be like, hey girl, are you dating such and such? Because I need to take, you know, is that a positive thing that comes from putting it out there that now people can
it's possible. I mean, some people may see it as a positive. I don't know how I feel about that. I always try to stay, like when I'm in a relationship, I always try to stay in a space of, I'm going to find out whatever I need to find out, whenever I need to find it out, if something's going wrong. Like, I don't need to, you know, go looking for something, or so I wouldn't post somebody just to say, hey, I'm dating him. I'm not, you know, actually say that, but to say, okay, here he is. So go ahead, hop in the inbox.
It's got to be that thought, right? When people post that person the first time, like, let me see who's going to be in my inbox. Am I this day man? Or, you know, there has to be something.
Right. I wouldn't even have that thought if I posted someone. Like, I mean, so even if they did, like, social media is so messy. It can be,
right. But see, and it's hard for us to really realistically have a full blown conversation about this because we are a little bit above the fray in maturity, you know? So.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true. You know, I see my little cousins and stuff. They be in a relationship with somebody different every week. I'm sorry for talking about y'all, but y'all do be doing
right. But I've noticed that with people, I'm like, and to the point where I'll see them post a relationship. And this is so bad to say, but since you brought it up, it ain't your cousins. I don't know your cousins, but this girl had a baby. And I didn't know of her having a dude or whatever, but she posted a picture of the baby, whatever. So like maybe the next year she was pregnant again, and it was a different dude. And I remember thinking, I don't know her, but I know she has had 2 babies within a year span with 2 different people. And I just thought I probably wouldn't share no more.
Yeah.
Because people like me who don't know her. But again, people like me who don't know her, lightweight was judging again. But she ain't thinking like that. And that's why I said us having this conversation, we have a certain idea about not caring. We have a certain idea, not only that we don't care. Some people say they don't care. They post it and then they're going to fight you because they don't, but they care. We don't care to where we don't share it. I don't care if you know that or not. You know, I tell people a lot of times, people think they know me or they feel like they have insight into my life. And you know me in a personal, intimate way. Intimate sounds like, you know, I always say we so romantic. But you know me intimately in a way that you can say whatever I share on social media, you know so much more than nobody knows. But people feel like because of what I share, they know everything. And that becomes frustrating to me. If I post a picture of my dogs, I got to hear about how I'm lonely and ain't got no man.
Y'all see the matching outfit for the dog? I was waiting on somebody to tell her that she need to
Oh,
find.
when me and Bella was matching. You just
Girl.
ain't no Bella. You
I was so tickled. I was like, oh, you
anyway,
get it. She be having haters. They be hating on her dogs, y'all.
They be hating on my dogs. And it's so funny because
oh, I wish she'd get a man. Meanwhile, you with your
she
man.
need kids, right? She needs some children, and you don't like yours or your baby daddy. So it's just, my dogs trigger people. It's amazing.
And what's up with people with kids trying to? Oh no, not kids. Maybe it's the marriage thing. If you're miserable in your marriage, don't be telling nobody else to get married. You need to get married.
That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. How people be unhappy and they say you need to do what I did and be miserable too.
Why would I do that? You don't make it look like sunshine.
Misery loves company, child. Misery loves company. We gonna stay on social media. So y'all tell us: has social media helped your relationship? Has social media harmed your relationship? Did your relationship start on social media? That's a whole nother angle to it. Mm-hmm. Would you invite social media into your relationship? Would you always keep it off and keep it safe? How you manage social media? If I got a man today, right now, y'all gonna hit back that. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna hit that. You're gonna hit back that. I'm gonna say, hey y'all, I got a man. No, I'm kidding, because you know what? So I shared so I just realized something. I shared the last boyfriend on the podcast. I never shared him on social media or changed my status. Mm-mm. I just thought about that. Mm-hmm. Oh, but then I would talk about the boyfriend and then I would share the podcast on my social media, but I never shared him on my social media or changed my status. And I don't think that was conscious. Yeah. And Patreon got videos with, so I felt like I wasn't hiding that I had a boyfriend, but
right.
I didn't share it like that.
Share it. Yeah, you didn't make it like social media official.
So it wasn't very conscious. I think at this point I probably wouldn't share that I was in a relationship. I would potentially share pictures and situations with the person because we took pictures and I may have liked the picture. And thought I was cute in the picture. And then I would just let people figure it out as time went on if this person just kept being in pictures.
Right.
I think that's how I would go about it. Like, hey, this guy's in a lot of her pictures. I wonder who he is. Oh, he's in, I think I would just go from there.
Right.
Lord, please let me have somebody to take pictures with this year. Because I've had people to take pictures with in past years, and you see what that looked like. So we know that it don't matter if you take a picture. If it don't matter. Nope. All right. Let us know in the comments. Thank y'all for commenting. We've got a lot more comments after last episode when we begged for them. So we'll keep begging, but we enjoy the interaction with you guys. So if you're gonna date Robin and you listen to this podcast, don't be looking for your picture on her page. She might put you in her Snapchat, which I don't even know what that means, or her WhatsApp app.
Ain't say never know WhatsApp.
I don't know. I'm trying to be cool. Had the opposite effect. And if you're looking to date me, I don't know. I'm hopeful that one day I will have a picture with somebody. Okay, so wait, I just thought about somebody. It's a couple I know. They're a married couple. They've been married a very long time. And they post all their date nights. They post, and it almost feels like they're encouraging couples to date, so I can see why they're posting, but I can see why, again, it depends on who's consuming it, how you take it.
Right.
Some people get jealous and feel lesser of their lives because of what they consume, or some people get inspired and think about more they can do. And okay, so yeah. We'll end it there. All right. Until next time, we appreciate y'all listening to another episode of Oh, no, he did.
Girl, yes, he did.